Obviously, you do the stand-up as well. Is it the same kind of thing with that? You just have the aspiration to see how far you can take it, or is that more of a hobby rather than a serious?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, of course, but anything you do, you want to do it as best as you can.
Hmm.
I would say, though, I'm more passionate about the video creation than the stand-up.
Yeah.
But the stand-up, I feel, helps me with the videos. In that, with when you do a video, you put it out.
Hmm.
People might say they like it and they comment and they might say, "Oh, that's really funny," this, that, and other, which is great.
Hmm.
But you wait for that.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
stand up, you tell a joke and you know right away whether it works or not.
Well,
you know,
you've
and
read my mind on the next question, to be honest, because the next question was obviously the difficulty with stand-up is it doesn't always land well. Have you
right, exactly,
had
exactly.
shows where it hasn't quite landed right, or the audience have been a little bit stiff?
Yeah, definitely. I've had a few times where people just didn't laugh. And the funny is that sometimes you can tell a joke in a place and it goes over great, and then you tell that same
Hmm.
joke somewhere else and it's like crickets. you know.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, there's been a few times where people didn't laugh. People got heckled once, and and it's for me, it's just part of the learning process. It's very easy to look at a situation like that, and I've seen this happen where people kind of just lose their shit and go mad, start shouting at the crowd, "How dare you not laugh?" That kind of, you
Yeah,
laughed at
yeah.
everybody else, so how you not laugh? I've seen that, and it's like, you know what, I 100% get when we try anything and it doesn't go as well as you think it
Hmm.
might, that's not a nice feeling to
Yeah.
go through. But at the same time, it's like they're under no obligation to find you funny.
Hmm.
So for me, it's just like trying to learn from each situations, whether it's a joke that is funny but maybe needs to be worked on a little bit, maybe just told in a slightly different way,
Yeah,
or whether the
yeah.
joke's just not funny at all. I need to scrap it, and maybe only I find it funny,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
just is what it is. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe I'm the only one laughing, and okay, cool. I'll tell the jokes myself then. That's fine. But yeah, it's just trying to learn from each situation and yeah, take it from there.
Yeah, I think that is the difficulty, is that comedy it's not like another job. It is so subjective, where what you put out,
Mm,
as you said before, your audience is your audience, and you might have an audience who don't find what you're saying funny. So it is, you really do end up putting yourself out there when it sort of doesn't land and it doesn't quite go as well. How do you how do you respond? Obviously, it's difficult to respond in the moment. What sort of
mm,
the thinking process? Sort of, you've made a couple jokes, they haven't landed right. The audience is sort of looking a little bit awkward. What
yeah.
thinking process at that point? Because it is difficult. It's difficult to do.
Yeah, I mean, the most ideal thing to do is to try and come up with like a really witty statement, or like a really cool
Hmm.
comeback or something like that. But even that can be difficult at times because you don't always know how the response is gonna go, and then because you don't know how they're gonna respond, it's a difficult thing to prepare for.
Yeah.
Over time, I think once you do enough shows and you get booed enough times, you start to develop ways. And I've seen people come back, have some really cool comebacks.
Hmm.
I feel like I'm not quite there yet with, when it doesn't go well for me. So I do try. I try to have a witty comeback, but
Hmm.
I usually just carry on. I think for me at the moment, it's if I can't think of something in about, I don't know, like 2 seconds or whatever, then okay, let me just carry on and just go like that just didn't happen,
Carry
and
on.
try to keep the energy going.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can put it back. Sometimes your next joke lands better and you can kind of put it back. So
Yeah. Yeah.
you know
Yeah.